From the Michigan State Capitol, Director of Tours, Education, and Information Service, Matt VanAcker. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Looks like the forecast is pretty good for this weekend for the muster.
So far, there's some rain on Monday, and as long as it doesn't go backwards to Sunday, we're all good.
You've been working hard. We saw each other about 10 days ago out at the band shell, and it's been a lot of work, but I know you're very excited about this.
I was super excited. I was just telling Matt a second ago how in his office in Lansing earlier this year, I was talking about possibly bringing the muster back, and to now be here on the week of the muster week to have it coming this weekend is super exciting and thrilling.
Well, you know, people have said Civil War muster in Jackson. The Civil War wasn't in Jackson, but Matt, Jackson does have a very strong connection.
It certainly does. So, you know, Michigan had a population of about 750,000 just before the start of the war. We sent 90,000 soldiers, over one half of our eligible male population, and a large number of them mustered in from the Jackson area. We had several companies that trained here in Jackson before they went off to war, and a number of companies that enlisted with other regiments in other parts of the state that came from the Jackson area. So a huge contribution.
And the governor at the time during the Civil War actually was from Jackson.
It certainly was, yeah, Austin Blair. We memorialize him quite a bit at the Capitol with a statue. The only person who has a statue on the grounds of the Capitol, Austin Blair. A beautiful portrait of him in the Senate chamber. His contributions were incredible to the war. And Jackson can be proud of their son, that he literally led our state through this really trying time in our country.
And this weekend, you'll be participating in the Civil War muster, sharing your knowledge in a talk.
Yeah, you know, I've had the honor of serving with and directing a really incredible project to preserve our state's Civil War battle flags that were originally housed in the Capitol. And I've worked on the project for about 30 years, and it's a really amazing collection of 160 Civil War battle flags and another 80 carried by Michigan troops in the Spanish-American War and World War I. They have incredible stories to tell. It's how Maurice and I first met a number of years ago. He inquired about seeing the battle flag collection, particularly the flags of the 102nd, the colored regiment from Michigan. And we connected, I think we could say, and we've been friends since.
What was the process to procure all the old flags and get them back into, I'm assuming you have to preserve them in a certain way?
We do, yeah, and we actually just opened a new Heritage Hall at the State Capitol, and included in that is a state-of-the-art conservation lab, where for the first time ever, our staff will be conducting on-site conservation. Most of the flags came into the state's possession in 1866. The men who fought beneath them turned them over to the care of the state of Michigan. So yeah, I feel like I'm taking away from the muster. And,
no.
But the flags are really, really incredible.
Well, you know, tying into the muster, I mean, you get to see the equipment, the clothing, the tools.
Right.
You really get to see the sign of the times.
Right, and you can see in this photo here, you know, at a reenactment, the scale of the flag. So at the reenactments, you get to see the flags reproductions out onto the field, and see, you know, how they played an effect during the Civil War in that style.
Being a flag bearer was an incredible honor, but it was also basically a death sentence. And the regiments rallied upon the colors, and the Confederates recognized the quickest way to dishearten the Union troops would be by dropping the man who was carrying the flags, and incredible acts of courage took place around the battle flags.
And we look at this flag being shown here. This is the flag of the 24th Michigan. That was once the size of the previous flags that we just saw, and that had a lot of stuff happen to it at Gettysburg, right?
Yeah, the 24th suffered, we believe, the highest casualties of any of the 400 Union regiments at Gettysburg. They took 80% casualties. 9 men died or were mortally wounded carrying that flag at Gettysburg.
What are we looking at
But
here?
the flag still makes its way back. That's
It
what's
does,
amazing.
it does. Very proudly, they turned over what was left of it. So this is our staff actually removing the flags from the Capitol cases, where they were kept till 1990. When the Capitol was restored, we made a decision to remove them and send them to archival storage at the State Historical Museum. We have a really great partnership with our friends at the museum, and the flags are archivally stored there.
Maurice, did you find a flag that had been hidden away or lost?
Yeah, no, not exactly. So Matt mentioned when I met Matt, we had toured the battle flag collection, and one of the flags we were looking at was the flag of the 102nd Colored Troops, and the flag had not probably been out to be viewed in quite some time, and it was still really rolled up and beat up, and you couldn't really make out what that flag was and what it looked like. So we began to kind of explore, and it ended up going through the Michigan Save the Flags program, through the Michigan State Capitol Save the Flags program. And it was sent out to the TPA, Textile Preservation Associates, over in Virginia, and they were actually able to unfurl the flag a little bit and piece it together through conservation. And then we could actually make out some of the words that were on that flag, and help due to some research where we found the newspaper articles. Newspapers are one of the greatest resources for studying that period.
Most of the information we've learned about the collection has come from wonderful people like Maurice, who have taken it upon themselves to do the research that's necessary.
Yeah.
So the muster, it's happening this weekend. What's the key info that Jackson needs to know?
Sure. Well, it opens at 9 a.m. That's one of the big things. Parking is as usual, right by the school, as if you're going to the fireworks. It is free. Again, thanks to Trips Auto Shop and Experience Jackson. And then we'll have some speakers beginning at 10 a.m., beginning with John Gibney. There'll also be some drilling going on, so you can see the soldiers doing the drills before the battle takes place. So you can see them doing the maneuvers and getting yelled at in some cases when they're not doing things right. So you'll see some of that going on. And then at 2 p.m. Is our battle. And you'll want the best spot is on the top of the hill. So if you can get there early, because people show up at 12:30, 1 o'clock, and they put their chairs down, mark their spot. So the earlier you get there to claim your spot, the better. And we're expecting over 400 reenactors this year, which is more than some recent years. Not as much as the 90s. The 90s were quite big. But compared to some recent years, 2017, 2018, when the muster was last held, we're looking to have quite a few reenactors.
Wow, that's great.
And Matt, your talk, what are
I think I'm in the band shell at 4 o'clock.
Perfect.
Yeah, if anyone's interested in learning more about this incredible collection, I'd love to have you come, and we can talk some more and go over some more stories, wonderful stories and sad stories of the battle flags and how they were used in combat.
Maurice, you've been a reenactor in the past, I think, as a kid or middle school student.
Right.
Are you going to be? You're probably too busy to.
I will be too busy, unfortunately, to be out in the field. I'd love to be out in the field, especially with it coming back, but I can't be on the field and have to be elsewhere at the same time. So hoping to be able to, do both at some point in time. I know there's some fun stuff going on in the evening, so I may switch over in the evening time when things cool down. For the ball, for example, there's a beautiful grand ball that we're holding on the driving range at 7 p.m.
Nice.
So I think that's a chance where I'll be able to slip into some 1860s clothing and relax for a little bit.
Awesome. Looking forward to the weekend. Thanks for all the work that you both are doing to make this a fantastic 35th year of the muster.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
The Director of Tours, Education, and Information Service at the Michigan State Capitol, Matt VanAcker, and Civil War Muster President, Maurice Imhoff. More of the morning show. Stay tuned.
Over time, we've seen more and more people frustrated with their dental benefits. They thought that because they had dental insurance, they'd be well taken care of. Well, that's exactly what the insurance companies want you to believe. They figured out a way to collect your premiums while continuing to limit your choice of doctor and your choice of treatment. There's not one company better than the others. They've created an environment where dentists diagnose treatment or recommend care based upon your insurance dollars available. That's not the way people should be treated, and we think there's a better way. We put the interest of you and your family first. We take the time with you to figure out how to get the care you need, whether it's with your insurance or not.
We are Dentistry by Design, and our mission is to make excellent dental care a joy. Please call, visit the website, or drop by the office. We'd love to answer any questions you may have. And be sure to ask about our exclusive membership program to help you save on the cost of your dental care.
Minuteman Sewer and Drains, because no matter when it is, as always, Minuteman Sewer and Drain is there with same-day service 24/7, 365. Minuteman Sewer and Drain will be there on that day when you need them. MinutemanSewer.com.
It's that time of the year again. Do you have a student in need of a physical? Whether it is for your student athlete to be ready for action or your student to be ready for school, now is the perfect time to make sure their health needs are up to date. The Center for Family Health offers physicals for all children and teens. Let us make it easy to get your student's annual physical off your checklist. Call 517-748-5500 to schedule your appointment today. The Center for Family Health has been opening the door to healthcare for all in Jackson County for more than 30 years.
So you think your house has mold? You're not alone. For more than 15 years, Midwest Enviro Solutions